Hi guys, welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective, and in this video I want to talk about the debut of Mercedes Mone in AEW and the relevancy it could bring back to the AEW Women's Division. The recent debut of Mercedes Mone brought a lot of buzz to AEW and Big Business Show specifically. I've seen some people say that this is the biggest signing in AEW history. For me, that very much remains to be seen, but Mercedes can really make a big impact on AEW here, in my opinion. What I want to concentrate on is the potential impact that Mone could have on the landscape of the women's division in AEW. In AEW, the women's division has been pretty mediocre, in my opinion. For me, Toni Storm has been the only shining light in an area of grey, which is ironic because she's always in black and white. However, the quality of wrestlers in AEW are fantastic. From Deonna Purrazzo to Chris Statlander to even Athena, who I know is the current women's champion in Ring of Honor, but I assume at some point she will come into the AEW fold and she will start killing it in AEW as well, and I can't wait for that. For AEW, the tools are right there, and yet I'd probably say after Jamie Hayter got injured and then Britt Baker disappeared, the booking of the women's division, and especially on pay-per-view, has been appalling. So now that you've brought in arguably the biggest name in current day women's wrestling, are things going to change? Well, honestly, I hope so, but I'm very skeptical. I'd say the last major female signing for AEW was Saraya, and though she had a lot of impact when she came in, she had a great debut match with Britt. She's a former women's champion, though the reign that she had wasn't great. And now she's in a mid-feud with Ruby Soho on Rampage that nobody fucking watches. Talk about a loss of momentum in a year and a half. Saraya's gone from one of the biggest names in AEW to just another member on the worst of three shows that AEW have. So I feel like my skepticism is fully understandable. However, will the same happen with Mercedes? I think it would be one of the biggest crimes in wrestling if the same did happen to Mercedes Mone. Mone isn't a formerly retired, hasn't wrestled in years superstar or megastar or wrestler, however you want to put it. She's arguably one of the best women's wrestlers in the world at the moment, and messing this up would be genuinely impressive. But if anyone can do it, I'd probably say Tony Khan could. No offense. But yeah, Mercedes is all about revolution, making history, or that seemed to be the case on her debut promo on AEW last week. And I think if anywhere needs a women's revolution, well, it's AEW 100%. For the most part, AEW's pay-per-views, there has only been one women's match on the main show, sometimes two, and Full Gear 2022 had three. But the fact that the biggest show that AEW have done so far, in All In last year, only had one women's match. There wasn't even a match on the 0 hour for the women. And I think that's ridiculous. And ironically, Mercedes Mone was in the crowd for that show. And yeah, I thought, you had 85,000 people at Wembley, and there was barely any representation of the women's division. And I think that's really stupid. I'm someone who very much likes women's wrestling. For a while, I found the women's wrestling to be better than the men's. But the fact that now it's taken such a fall, I'm recording this on Tuesday the 19th. Last night on Raw, Becky Lynch and Nia Jax main evented Raw. So even WWE are doing a better job of booking the women's division than AEW, and I'd argue that the AEW women's division has a lot more overall better quality women's wrestlers than WWE. They have the tools to have a proper competitive main event scene in AEW for the Women's World Championship, and yet they just don't use them as much. But I remember at the time All In being very disappointed at the fact there's only one women's match. And yes, it was a fatal four-way match, and there was four women being represented, but there could have been so many more. We could have even had a casino battle royal on the pre-show, or 0 hour for the women. Anything like that, just to get them represented on what was, as we know, the biggest show in AEW history. But In conclusion, the so-called CEO has the power to really make a statement, a bank statement, if you will, to change the trajectory of the women's division AEW. Like, make it interesting, exciting, but most of all, something worth investing in again. The fact that we could have a re-emerging Britt Baker very soon. Pretty sure Jamie Hayter's due to come back at any point now. Toni Storm is absolutely killing it. She's absolutely in her stride right now. And then you've got people that I know, like Gianna Perrazzo, has been used in the main event stuff, but she has the potential to be staying in that position for a long time. Chris Statlander will become a women's world champion at some point. I very much hope so, and think that she will. Willow Nightingale is starting to pick up some steam as well. So we have the potential of, as I said, having a very competitive women's division. Julia Hart, Sky Blue, very young women who can almost like put the division on their shoulders going into the future. Like, I don't know, I feel like AEW kind of hit their stride with the women's division when Britt Baker was women's world champion, but they have what they need to get to that point of greatness again and then surpass it. And like, they all deserve it. They're all absolutely brilliant wrestlers, but it just feels like they're just not getting the appreciation and the investment that they deserve overall. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, if you agree or disagree, do put down in the comments below. And yeah, well, thank you for watching the video. I'll ask you to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you again for watching. See you later.